Minato, this is a horrible plan. Hiruzen Sarutobi said as he was holding Naruto, whose eyes were open slightly as he seemed to look at the man who was holding him. He had black hair unlike his other siblings. Naruko and Minma had red hair while Naruko had yellow hair. Like her father. You can't just abandon one child so you can train the rest. I don't care. They have more tails of chakra sealed into them. He started yelling until little Naruto started crying. He bounced the child up and down to soothe the baby. They're their child, old man Hiruzen has you. Minato sighed as he saw his oldest son in the Sarutobi's arms. Must Hiruzen, they need to learn how to control the tails of the Kyuubi. I'm sorry, Minato said. It was a hard choice to leave his son behind, but, in his mind, it was necessary. Come on, sensei, it'll only be a couple years. All they need to do is master the chakra. Tsunade reasoned. She decided to go with the family along with Jiraiya so she could help train the family. Then we'll come home and Naruto will be happy to meet his family. Too bad. You're not God, Tsunade, I am. Still and never will agree with what you're doing, Minato. A voice said from behind Hiruzen. Minato looked over Hiruzen to see Orochimaru standing there. You are leaving your son for your other kids. Pathetic. He snarled. Orochimaru was a little sour because he lost the title of fourth Hokage to Minato, but he got over it quickly. Now you listen, Kushina began in a furious voice only to be shut off. An equally furious voice. Orochimaru is right, Hiruzen said. You two are leaving your child alone for your other kids. It is pathetic. The baby started crying again. If he sensed the negative emotions, Hiruzen bounced him a little bit. Again. Will take care of little Naruto here as much as I can. I'm going to give him his own apartment that he can live in after he turns 8 from the orphanage. Minato began protesting but was cut off by Orochimaru. Hiruzen-sensei is right. He is acting Hokage now, not you, Minato. IONL. Hope Naruto will forgive you in the future, he said before walking out. Come on, everyone, Minato said with a small scowl on his face. We have kids to raise. As do L. Hiruzen said, looking down warmly at the baby boy who was staring at the family leaving. The baby made a gurgling sound and clapped a little, but the gurgling sound sounded a lot like Baka's. 6 years later, Naruto ran into a nearby alley to get away from a few drunken Chunin who were chasing him. This would happen at least once a week. The high score was 8. They would hunt him down and beat him up to a bloody pulp and leave him to die. But a person in an ANBU mask would always take him to the hospital after the beatings. Naruto didn't know why they beat on him, but they have been doing it ever since he was kicked out of the orphanage when he was 4. On his 5th birthday, he was with the 3rd Hokage helping with stam and sorting things. He loved his Gigi dearly and would do anything to save his old bony, as Naruto would say it. He also liked his uncle Orochi as well. But his uncle Orochi was gone a lot of the time. But was something about the beating he was about to receive, though. Today was his birthday. October 10th. The day the nine-tailed fox attacked the village and killed many people's families and friends. But they saw Naruto as the Kyuubi, and so they were going to take revenge. Naruto hid in the alley shaking in fear. The Chunin that were chasing him were holding kunais and shuriken. One had a sword. But, unlucky for Naruto, one was a sensor. "Hey guys, he's over here," he yelled as a small crowd of villagers and ninja alike came by. Naruto was grabbed by his black hair and threw against the wall. "Please stop," he cried out, only to get punched in the gut. "Did you stop when you killed my little brother?" "Huh?" a Chunin said, as it punched Naruto again. "Pin the demon by his hands with a kunai so it can't get away," a villager yelled. Another Chunin smiled wickedly and took one of Naruto's arms, pinned it against the wall. "Take this demon," he yelled as he stabbed the kunai in each hand, pinning him to the wall. Naruto experienced pain. But this was a new type. He screamed out in agony as he cried. The villagers seemed taken aback for a second. This wasn't a demon scream, no, this was a little boy's scream. "It's the demon trying to trick us," a genin shouted. The others were quick to agree before they started torturing him again. Naruto watched as a nearby village held a knife and stabbed him in the stomach before twisting it. Naruto screamed again in pain. When the villager went to do it again, Naruto saw everything turn into a black-gray color as he saw everything in slow motion. He watched as the villager looked wide-eyed before being engulfed in a huge flames. "Fire style, fireball jutsu," a young voice called out. The villagers, Chunin, and genin alike were all quickly disposed of by the jutsu. Naruto closed his eyes as he felt the kunai being taken out of his hands. As he fell to the ground. "Oh Kami. Naruto, I'm sorry I couldn't get here fast enough. I was just appointed to ANBU and stuff and I didn't." He stopped as he watched Naruto open his eyes. His breath hitched. "Sharingan," he whispered. Naruto looked at the boy who saved him, only to see a weasel mask. Naruto saw the boy had red eyes with Tomo's. "You have cool eyes," he said before passing out. Itachi Uchiha chuckled at the boy. "So do you?" he said as he shunshined to the hospital and then to the Hokage's office. Naruto was attacked today. Pretty brutally too. But that's not what's important, Itachi said as the third raised an eyebrow. "What happened to the attackers?" the third asked. He saw Naruto as a grandson and he wanted to make sure he got justice. "I burnt them alive with a fire jutsu." The third nodded. Now what is possibly more important than him almost dying Weasel? Weasel, also known as Itachi, took a deep breath. "He has the Sharingan Hokage-sama." Hiruzen gasped. "Are you sure?" he asked skeptically. Itachi nodded. "I'm sure, sir. I saw them with my own eyes and my Sharingan was up as well, so it wasn't a genjutsu. But how does he have it?" Hiruzen took off his Hokage hat. "L don't know. It could be that Minato's parents were Uchiha, but he has. L know, right?" Itachi then poked her forehead. "I'm Itachi. You can call me Itachi and I. That's my cousin. You're new cousin. And that over there," he said, pointing at Fugaku, "is my Tusan. Your new Tusan. And it right here. I'm not an it, I'm a she," Satsuki muttered. Itachi laughed a little. "This is Satsuki. You can call her whatever you want, okay?" Naruto nodded slowly. "Okay. Let's go to the orphanage and get your stuff and then you can Move in with us, Satsuki said with a smile. She then reached for the boy and tried to touch his whiskers. He flinched away thinking she was going to hurt him. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to see your whiskers. Naruto hesitantly nodded as he let her touch his whiskers. Then he did something no one thought he could. He purred. Cute. Mikoto and Satsuki yelled at the same time. Satsuki immediately jumped on the bed and rubbed her cheek against his like he was some type of dog. Mikoto did the same, much to the amusement of Itachi and Fugaku. Naruto blushed a dark red as he felt the girl's mess with his whiskers. After they were done, Mikoto spoke up. Come on, let's get your stuff. Naruto looked down at the blankets of the bed and muttered something no one picked up. What was that? L don't have anything there. I was kicked out when I was 4. Fugaku's eyes widened a bit and Mikoto gasped. Itachi frowned and Satsuki asked the question everyone wanted to know. Where did you live then? Naruto looked Satsuki in the eyes. The streets and a big forest. The bad people would beat me up a lot. And some brought weapons. Last night, they actually tried to kill me. He pointed to Itachi. Then he saved me with a fireball thingy and I'm guessing he brought me here. Itachi's eyes widened slightly. How did you know it was me? He questioned. Naruto smiled slightly. I felt you last night. I don't really know how to explain it, but it felt warm. And it seemed calm. Like you are right now. Plus, your hair was in a pony tail, which it is right now. Itachi smiled. Good observations considering what happened. You blew my cover. Though. Let's keep this a secret though, just between us and Hokage. Sama? Naruto nodded. Okay, let's go home. They waited for Naruto to get out of bed, but he just sat there. What's Itachi began, but was cut off by a strong hug from Naruto. Everyone smiled except for Fugaku, who just smirked at the scene. In front of him, Itachi patted Naruto's back. Thank you, Itachi and I. He said in between sobs. Thank you for giving me a family. Time skip a month, this is gonna be my longest chapter because I need to get to the part where Naruto's biological family comes back. Kazan, Toussaint, we're home. Satsuki and Naruto yelled at the same time as they walked through the door. The day marked Naruto's first month of being part of the family. He immediately liked the family, but he was super shy in the beginning, so he just stayed quiet. After the second week, he opened up. The third week, he and Sasuke joined the academy. Today was the day Fugaku said he was going to show them the family jutsu so that they may have the family crest on the back of their shirts. Welcome home, Satsuki-chan, Naruto-kun. How was your day? Naruto shivered. Boring. Irika-sensei just droned on and on about history. I mean, if I'm facing a ninja in battle, do you think me saying Hashirama Senju was the first Hokage is going to save me? Mikoto smiled at her adoptive son's brightness. He was smart and usually thought logically when it counted. Kazan. Where's Toussaint? He's supposed to show us the fireball jutsu. Satsuki whined. Fugaku-kun. Mikoto yelled into the hallway. Naruto-kun and Satsuki-chan want to learn the jutsu you promised you'd teach them. Be there in a minute, honey. Fugaku yelled back, putting on his sandals. He would never admit it, but Naruto makes the Uchiha compound more happy, even if it was just a little bit. His laughter was infectious and his love spread like a wildfire. Some Uchiha opposed to him being at the compound, but were immediately silenced when Fugaku got tired of it. Fugaku walked outside to see Satsuki sitting down waiting for her father, while Naruto was jumping up and down in excitement. "Come on, kids. Follow me." 5 minutes later at a lake on a dock. "Toussaint, can I use my Sharingan to copy it, please?" Naruto asked. When the family found out Naruto actually had the Sharingan, they all had different reactions. Satsuki was jealous, but she got over it quickly. Fugaku was slightly disappointed in the village for causing Naruto to awaken it. Mikoto was overjoyed and said he's on the path of greatness since he had 2 tomos already. "Sorry, Naruto, but no. To become a real Uchiha, you must do this without the help of the Sharingan. But after that you can copy enemies' abilities and jutsus, but only copy an allies if they give you permission. Okay? Okay, Toussaint. Let's do it," Naruto said. Satsuki smiled at the spiky black-haired boy. She liked him around the house and they would always hang out. One was not usually seen without the other. "Okay. Here are the hand signs." Fugaku slowly showed them the hand signs as they both nodded for him to continue. "Then, you build up the chakra in your lungs until you feel a slight burning sensation and you exhausted." Satsuki was tired because she kept doing the jutsu over and over just to get it done with. "I'm exhausted," Satsuki said. It was a little dark as they headed to the compound. "I'll think it'd be easier if Toussaint said I could use my Sharingan," Naruto whispered into her ear so only she could hear. Fugaku and Mikoto wanted Naruto to keep his Sharingan a secret for now, but Itachi would give him a lesson every once in a while. When they got home they shouted in unison. Mikoto came by and hugged them both before bonking them on the head. "You stayed out too late and you also burnt yourselves," she said with a hint of anger in her voice. Naruto and Satsuki looked at the ground in shame before Mikoto smiled brightly at them. "I also heard that you kids performed the fireball pretty well too. Especially Naruto." Naruto beamed at the praise as Satsuki smiled at him. "Satsuki-chan did the fireball good too, cousin. Not as good as me, but she made it bigger than Tauzen's." "I have a question. How'd you know we did the jutsu correctly?" Mikoto laughed. "Naruto's uncle said he was watching you two from afar. He was quite impressed." Naruto gasped. "Uncle Orochi came here? Where is he?" Naruto said in excitement. Mikoto just smiled at the boy. "He left a while ago, but he wanted me to give you this. It's a list of jutsu that you can practice on your free time. But it also contains 3 taijutsu styles. I haven't looked at the scroll yet, but he said there was a few pieces of chakra paper in there." She handed Naruto the scroll. He looked at it questionably. Cousin, how do I open it?" Mikoto chuckled while Satsuki facepalmed. "It's a storage scroll, Baka," Satsuki said. "Satsuki, be nice," Mikoto scolded. "But she is right. To open it, just channel some chakra into the scroll." Naruto nodded as he channeled chakra into the scroll and it opened. Wow! It opened to reveal 3 pieces of chakra paper with 5 scrolls each L. Different color and symbol. One was blue and it said Water Jutsu. Another was red and said fire jutsu. Another was brown and said earth jutsu. Another was white and said wind. And the final one was yellow and said lightning. 0K Naruto-kun, I want you to take this piece of paper here and chant some chakra into it. If it burns, it's fire. If it gets soggy and wet, it's water. If it splits in half, it's wind. If it crinkles up, it's lightning. And finally, if it crumbles up, it's earth. Now give it a try, she explained. Naruto nodded and picked up the piece of paper. He channeled some chakra into it and watched in fascination as it split into 3 pieces, with one crinkling, one burning, and another soaking. Mikoto, Satsuki, and Itachi, who slipped into the room as Naruto picked up the paper, jaws dropped. Is that good, Kazan? Mikoto could only nod her head, not trusting her voice. Itachi was the one who spoke up. You have 4 elemental affinities. A normal person usually has 1.2, is rare. 3 is unheard of. And here you are with 4. Naruto, you're something else, Itachi said with a slight laugh. Naruto smiled. He may have loved his father and mother's praise, but the real praise he really wanted was Itachi's. He admired Itachi being able to get into ANBU at age 12 and being captain at 13. It was incredible. Thanks, Itachi, and I. Now I'm on my way to being as strong as you. Itachi smiled and motioned for Naruto to come to him. Naruto sat up and walked to Itachi, only to be poked by his 2 fingers. Gur. Naruto growled in annoyance. He rubbed his head where Itachi poked. Mikoto smiled at the 2 brothers. She remembered her conversation with Itachi earlier that day. Flashback. What do you honestly think of Naruto-kun, Itachi-kun? Mikoto asked as she sat at the table drinking a cup of tea Itachi made. Itachi closed his eyes as he put down his cup. I love Naruto and I as much as I love Satsuki. He may not be blood completely, but that doesn't change anything. I would do anything for them, including giving my life up if it helps them live. Even if / become an obstacle that he hates, he will always be my little brother, Itachi replied, without so much as thinking. Mikoto didn't know that Itachi felt that way about her adoptive son. She was shocked. I'm proud of you, Itachi-kun. You welcomed him into our lives, and then you love him like he was your brother. She was cut off. He is my brother Kazan. Even if came out fear won't nothing would change about how much I care for him. Flashback end. Time for bed, everyone. Let's go. You have school tomorrow. Mikoto shooed the kids away. Only Itachi remained. You weren't joking earlier today, were you? Itachi gave her a weird look. Did you think I was? She shook her head in a negative fashion. Good night, Kazan. Naruto yelled from his room. Yeah, night. Satsuki called from her room. Mikoto stood up. Looks like I have to sew some Uchiha symbols on their clothing, huh? Itachi smiled at his mother. Indeed, mother. 1 year later. Naruto. Iruka yelled. Naruto jolted up from his seat, wide awake. He was having a nice dream about him and Itachi training and him beating Itachi in a spar. Since you listen so well, you can answer the question. Yeah, it's okay. But history is useless. Orochimaru gave Naruto a weird look. How so? Naruto then explained how it's useless, and Orochimaru nodded at his logic. Okay, now back to the problem. I want you to form the chakra throughout your whole body and try the technique again. Naruto nodded and went through the hand signs and shouted, Fire release, Great Dragon Fire Technique. A head of a dragon made. A flame spewed out of Naruto's mouth and engulfed a nearby tree, setting it on fire. Orochimaru was about to put it out when Naruto stopped him. L got this. Water style, giant vortex jutsu. Naruto yelled as water seemingly came out of nowhere and crashed into the fire as it swirled around Naruto. Naruto deactivated the jutsu and looked at his uncle, only to see Orochimaru's face with complete shock. Uncle Orochi? Naruto said, slightly scared at his uncle's face. Orochimaru shook his head from his shock and smiled warmly at Naruto. You've done something only the second Hokage could. I'm proud of you, Naruto. Naruto smiled and hugged his uncle again. How would you like me to teach you in those taijutsu techniques gave you a while ago? Maybe I'll start teaching you hand-on instead of just sending you scrolls, Naruto nodded eagerly. Orochimaru laughed and ruffled his hair. Okay, let's get started. Flashback end. Now every other week after school he would go train with Orochimaru. And the week he wasn't, he would practice training with Satsuki with Itachi. They would throw kunai and shuriken, and then he would train his Sharingan and speed. Were you two sent out again? Mizuki said as he came back with a cup of coffee. And Momokutan? The fourth one said before he was impaled by another branch in the heart. The four men that were holding Satsuki were now dead. Naruto stared at man in front of him down. I'm going to destroy you. He screamed. He rushed the man and punching him ribs, breaking a few before kicking him in the face, sending him into the trees. Naruto then made a hand sign and the trees around. The men wrapped around him and slowly crushed him. The man screamed out in pain as he felt his whole body being crushed. Satsuki could only watch the man die right in front of her. She watched as the red cloak around Naruto faded, as did the slits. She gasped when she saw the three-tomo Sharingan in his eyes. Naruto deactivated his Sharingan as the third Hokage, Orochimaru, Itachi, and a group of Anbu. Naruto was about to collapse when Satsuki caught him in her arms and held his head close to her as she stroked his hair. Hokage-sama, this wood, it's pushing out chakra. Hiruzen surveyed the landscape and grimaced when he was the bodies of four Iwa Nins. Mokutan, he whispered. Itachi and the rest of the ANBU heard him. No way. An ANBU with a lion's mask said. Mokutan had not been seen since the first Hokage died. Orochimaru whistled. Naruto-kun, you are certainly made for great things, he said, smiling at the two Uchiha as Satsuki was stroking Naruto's hair. Time skipped 6 years. A day before graduation. Naruto and Satsuki were excited. Naruto, because no more book work, and Satsuki because she gets some action. Naruto was smiling like a goof as he walked towards the Hokage Tower. I'm so close to graduating. I can taste it. Nothing can ruin my day, not even the villagers. Naruto thought. He dodged people who tried to intentionally bump into him skillfully. He had learned a lot with his Sharingan. He had 100% control over it. And he was proud of himself. After that day with the IWA, Nin the Third sent him scrolls on Mokuton every other week while Orochimaru watched him. He also made 2 new friends. Their names were Anko, Mitarashi, and Kakashi Hatake. He has learned many jutsus and he was very proficient in battle tactics and genjutsu. His Sharingan helped him a lot. He grew a lot closer to Satsuki since that day as well. He wasn't sure what it was, but whenever he was near her he would blush and feel something in his stomach twist and turn. Naruto burst into the Hokage office. A group of people were in front of the desk, but he didn't care. "I'm here, Gigi," he yelled as he laughed. Hiruzen smiled warmly at the boy. "Hello, Naruto-kun. I want you to meet some people." He gestured to the people in front of his desk. Naruto looked at the people and studied them. There was 2 kids around his age, an old man with white hair coming down his back, a tall man with blue eyes and blonde hair, a woman with long red hair, and a woman with blonde and had 2 pigtails flowing down from the back of her neck. Naruto studied the tall man with blonde hair before scowling. "Gigi, why are they here?" he spat out with venom. The blonde man's smile turned upside down to a frown, along with everyone else in the group. The blonde took a step forward. "My name is Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, and your father," he finished. Naruto's scowl deepened more. "You're not my Toussaint. My Toussaint is at home waiting for me to come home," he said as his voice immediately went low. Minato gave him a confused look. "What do you mean?" "We are," he motioned to the rest of the people in the room. "We are your family." Naruto shook his head in disgust. "No, you aren't. My family is at home. Now with your family." Minato's eyes widened when he finally noticed Uchiha clan crest on Naruto's back. "An Uchiha crest?" he asked. The boy, who had red hair like his mother, stepped forward. "He probably stole it, Toussaint. Let me take it off," he said, reaching for the crest before he found a kunai at his throat. "You will not touch me," Naruto growled out as his chakra flared and ki flooded the room, making the boy sweat before raising hands in the air. Okay. I'm sorry." The boy stepped back slowly. Minato and Kushina gawked at the child they had abandoned. The speed he had was just mind-blowing. Kushina then realized what just happened. "You cannot just draw a kunai on your own brother," Kushina yelled. Slightly. Naruto glared at her. "Both of my brothers are in missions right now, and only one could totally whoop my ass in a fight. Tsunade had enough. Listen here, brat, we don't have time for your petty grudge against your real family." She growled as she stomped, she said, staring into his eyes. What she didn't know was that she was staring into his Sharingan. Tsunade kept matching at the boy before she bumped into an invisible force. She then realized she was in a genjutsu and she quickly dispelled it, only to find him standing there with a smirk and her facing the opposite side of the room. Her eyes widened along with everyone else in the room except for Naruto, and Hiruzen gaped at the Sharingan. "How did you get the Sharingan?" Minato asked. Naruto shook his head. "I do not need to give you that information, Namikaze-san." Minato frowned. "Naruto, call me Toussaint." Naruto shook his head. "No. You're not my Toussaint," Naruto said with a snarl. "You stopped Being my 2 cents the day you abandoned me just because I didn't have enough tails of chakra like they did. He yelled, pointing at his biological siblings. You left me to the mercy of the villagers. They would beat me every week when I was kicked out of the orphanage. I hate you, Naruto said before sunshining to the Uchiha compound. What have we done to our baby boy? Kushina asked as she started crying. Beaten by the villagers? Psst, he was exaggerating. The villagers are the nicest people in the world, Minato thought. It's all true, Minato. On his 6th birthday, he was almost killed but was saved by Itachi Uchiha. Then Fugaku and Mikoto adopted Naruto. But during the torture on that day, he also unlocked his Sharingan. He's a prodigy. He was trained with the Sharingan by Itachi and Fugaku and trained in all the other areas by Orochimaru, whom he calls Uncle Orochi. After the torture, his life was okay until 5 Iwa Nin attacked him and Satsuki Uchiha. Minato froze along with the other adults. Well, Naruto grew angry and unlocked another Kekkei Genkai. He unlocked Mokuton. Tsunade slammed her hand on the table. Impossible, Sensei. Stop telling stories, she yelled. Hiruzen laughed at the woman. I'm not telling stories. I'm telling you facts. He tapped into the Kyuubi's chakra and killed all 5 Iwa troops when he was 7 with Mokuton. Each of them were brutally killed. I've been giving him techniques on Mokuton since then, and he's mastered all of them so far. Right now he can perform perfect B-rank Mokuton jutsus. Overall, Naruto would be a mid to high jonin if he had a year or two of experience. But sadly, he does not. Without experience, he's around mid chunin to very low jonin. Hiruzen finished. Minato ran a hand through his hair in frustration. Why wasn't I told this in our letters? He asked in an annoyed tone. Hiruzen glared at Minato. Do you really want to know, Minato? Of course we do. The group shouted. You never asked. Since you never asked, I didn't think it'd be important to you. You always boasted about your other kids on how they are mastering the Kyuubi's chakra. But tell me, without the Kyuubi's chakra, what level would they be? HM? You raised then to rely on it, when you shouldn't. Naruto was raised right and relies on his own power. The two youngins scowled at the old man. What would you know? They yelled in unison. I'll know a lot. I can sense your chakra pools, and they wouldn't be that large if it wasn't for the Kyuubi. Now silence, children. Hiruzen eyed Jiraiya and Tsunade. Naruto has stated that you two aren't his godparents anymore. Naruto's new godparents are Orochimaru and Mai Terumi. She is great friends with the Uchiha, and his cousin decided to make it happen. She is not his cousin. Kushina screamed and stormed off. If you try to change anything, you can't. I have issued custody of Naruto Uchiha over to Mikoto and Fugaku Uchiha due to Naruto's request, and the whole Uchiha compounds. They love Naruto-kun dearly. He brightens up the place. How could you do this, Hiruzen? I thought you were on my side, Minato shouted. Hiruzen raised an eyebrow. I'll stop being on your side when I saw Naruto have holes in his hands and multiple holes in his stomach. Your decision was foolish and idiotic. All of you, leave. Minato, you can get back in this chair after Naruto graduates. Understood? Minato sadly nodded. They seemed to regret it. I wonder if Naruto-kun will ever forgive them. Hiruzen thought as he took another puff of his pipe. Mikoto smiled at her son. She didn't even consider him her adoptive son. Anymore, neither did Fugaku. She was about to reply when Satsuki spoke. It's Satsuki-chan and LG's, you think you'd get it after all these years. Mikoto's sweat dropped from hearing her daughter correct her son. Naruto turned red from embarrassment at the correction. I think your Toussaint is in the kitchen having tea. You should hurry up. Inside. Mikoto said as she tried to hurry the kids into the house. He is not your Toussaint. Your Toussaint is at home with your family. Kushina yelled at Naruto. Naruto spoke without turning around, releasing Ki that made everyone freeze. You are not my family. Minato Namikaze is not my family. Family is supposed to stick together. You left me. Now, he snarled. Stay away from me. He walked into the house and into his room. Ugh. Naruto-kun. Satsuki yelled as she ran to go comfort Naruto. Mikoto shook her head. I'm disappointed in you, Kushina, she said as she closed the door to Kushina screaming. Next day. Next up, Minma Namikaze. Araka called out. It was graduation day and you could feel the excitement in the air. The day they become genin of the village. Naruto in particular was excited. If he passes, his uncle was going to give him something special. He just couldn't wait. Next up, Naruko Namikaze. Araka called. Minma walked out of the testing room with a leaf headband on and a smug smile gracing his lips. Beat that Nezen, he said confidently as he was surrounded by fangirls. Even if it was his first day here, word spread fast about the heroes of the village returning, and the two siblings got fanboys and fangirls alike. It disgusted Naruto. I'm not your Nezen, nor will I ever be. Now sit down, Minma. You're being annoying. Minma scowled at his biological sibling. Naruko, who just finished her test, walked in and overheard the conversation, gave her brother a growl. Stop being a dick, Naruto, she yelled. Just because Kazan and Toussaint chose us doesn't mean you have to be mean about it, she yelled, drawing the attention of several people. Naruto closed his eyes and sent wave after wave of KL, making all of the students sweat and sit down. Naruko, do you want to be on my shit list? He whispered loud enough for the class to hear. Many of the children gasped as Naruko stood up. They were a little shocked because Naruto was in line for the Rookie of the Year award, and here was this newcomer, the hero of the village, challenging him. Naruto rose an eyebrow. Do you wish to dance? Naruto usually refers dances and fights. He started calling fights dances after he awoke in Mokuton. Dance? What do you mean? She asked, narrowing her eyes at him. Naruto was about to reply when a lazy Nara spoke up. He means fight. Naruto refers to dancing as fighting. To him, there's no difference. But could you guys keep it down? This is such a drag, Shikamaru said lazily. The Ki immediately dropped and almost everyone let out a sigh of relief. Naruto smiled at Shikamaru. You say that too much. You should have a more expanded vocabulary, Naruto said. Shikamaru smiled at his black-haired friend. It'd be too troublesome. Naruto's sweat dropped, seeing as his friend just did what he suggested. Whatever. However, Naruto began about to address Naruto when Mizuki came out of the room beside Irika. Naruto Nami crap. Sorry, Naruto. Your name was next to Naruto's. Because they are spelt almost just alike. Mizuki said with a chuckle as he scratched the back of his head. He cleared his throat. Naruto Uchiha. Please come take your test. Naruto smiled at his teacher before jumping off his seat and running into the examination room. Okay, Naruto, do the substitution before these shuriken reach you. Naruto nodded and waited for the shuriken to come. Irika threw the shuriken, which were dulled so if in case the student did not actually do the substitution jutsu, they'd be okay. Naruto substituted himself with the log on the ground that was provided on the other side of the classroom. Good. Now do the transformation jutsu. Naruto nodded his head and made a single one-handed seal and transformed into Itachi Uchiha. Behind the mirror where parents and the Hokage reside. Ah, he chose his brother, how sweet. Mikoto Kushina was about to tell about his real family when she was silenced by a hand on her shoulder from Minato shaking his head as if telling her no. She sighed and crossed her arms. What do you expect? I'm starting to think he likes Satsuki and Itachi more than he likes us. Fugaku said with a slight smile, extremely proud of his son. What do you expect? He spends most of his time hanging out with Itachi and Satsuki. More of Satsuki than Itachi, though. He seems to take an interest in her besides a friend. This time Fugaku laughed. Indeed. She is oblivious to it, though. I wonder if she feels the same way, he said. Mikoto nodded her head. I'm pretty sure she does. Fugaku raised an eyebrow asking his question silently. Call it mother's intuition. Examination room. Okay. Now perform at least 3 working clones and you pass. Mizuki said. He had taken a liking to Naruto over the years. He wouldn't admit it out loud, but Naruto was his favorite student. Does it matter what type of clone? Naruto asked. Mizuki looked at Irika and they had a silent discussion with their eyes. They came to a decision. Suppose not. Just make sure there are 3 of them, okay? Naruto nodded again. My cousin showed me this because I have massive reserves. Shadow Clone Jutsu. He yelled as 10 Narutos filled up the room. Mizuki and Irika knew that Naruto was strong, but this was just outrageous. Most Jonin couldn't even do this jutsu because it was chakra taxing, but this kid made it seem like nothing. Why you PP past Naruto? Irika stuttered out. Naruto smiled before grabbing his headband and walking out the room. That boy is going to do some great things, Mizuki said with a smile. Irika could only nod in agreement. L passed. Naruto yelled when he entered back into the classroom. Satsuki tilted her head and smiled at him, making him grow red. Good job, Naruto-kun, she said in an excited voice. She had already passed since she was the first one to go. Naruto sat down next to her. That test was easy, Naruto said. They should really bump up what we learn in here. Satsuki nodded her head in agreement. True. 3/4 of the crap we learned was history, and you know how I feel about that. Irika and Mizuki walked in the room. Congratulations everyone that passed. Now that you are Genin, there are certain responsibilities. Naruto droned out Iruka's lecture and just stared at Satsuki. She's beautiful, he thought. He realized his thoughts and his face turned a deep shade of red. Bad Naruto. You can't like her like that. What if doesn't T like you like that? Naruto. Iruka yelled for the 7th time. Stop staring at your girlfriend and pay attention. Naruto's posture instantly straightened, his face a really deep shade of red, while Satsuki had a slight redness on her cheeks as well. Not my girlfriend, but I'll pay attention, Iruka-sensei. The class laughed at Naruto. He put his head down and handed Satsuki the kunai. Kill me. Now Satsuki-chan. Please. Satsuki raised the kunai and slammed it down next to his head. You're an idiot. You know that, right? She asked. Naruto nodded his head ever so slightly. She smiled and patted him on the back. Listen up. Iruka-sensei is calling out teams. Team 7, Naruto Uchiha, Satsuki Uchiha, and Sai, no last name. Your Jonin-sensei will be, oh, this is unusual. You have 2 senseis. Kakashi Hatake and Itachi Uchiha. He announced. Naruto sprang up and yelled. Yes. We have Itachi Nii and Kakashi Nii as our sensei. This is going to be awesome. Satsuki was smiling as well. Naruto-kun, calm down, you're going to get in trouble. Satsuki chided. Like a mother would. Naruto tuned out the other teams until Satsuki smacked him slightly. Listen. And finally Team 11 will be Minma Namikaze, Naruko Namikaze, and Sakura Haruno. Your Jonin-sensei will be Kushina Namikaze. Iruka. Finished. Once again, I am very proud of all of you. Your Jonin-senseis will be here soon to pick you up. Iruka said as he and Mizuki walked out of the classroom. 3 hours later. L didn't think that Kakashi and Ii would be this late. Naruto sighed. You'd think he'd be early for you, but no. Satsuki said with a slight bit of sarcasm. After all the graduates left with their respective senseis, Naruto tried to talk to the Sai kid but found out he was really weird. His smile seemed to be fake and he was always looking and observing at the two. Naruto looked over at Sai only to see Sai staring at him intently. Naruto inwardly cringed. He leaned over to Satsuki's ear. Why is that guy so creepy? He's eyeing us like we're animals at a zoo. Naruto whispered. Satsuki sighed. She knew it too. Naruto was about to say something else when the classroom door opened. Team 7? Kakashi said as he peered over at his Genin team. Naruto glared at Kakashi. I thought you'd be at least an hour late, Kakashi-sensei. Not 3. He growled out. Kakashi gave them an awkward-eyed smile. Sorry, Naruto. I had to help an old woman lift her groceries to her house. Naruto narrowed his eyes. Liar. You stole that from Obito. Naruto yelled as Kakashi just smiled at the memory of his dead friend. He was usually late to honor the Uchiha. Well, meet me on the roof, he said before sunshining to the roof. Naruto turned to his 2 teammates. He turned to Sai. Put a hand on my shoulder, I'll shushin us there. Satsuki put a hand on Naruto's shoulder, used to him doing this. Sai gave him a weird smile before he put a hand on Naruto's other shoulder. Naruto made a hand sign and sunshine on top of the roof. Satsuki and Naruto sat relatively close to one another while Sai had about a 5 feet distance from Naruto. Kakashi was leaning on the railings. Okay, guys and gal. Tell me you're about yourself. I'll go first. My name is Kakashi Hatake. I like reading. He was interrupted by Naruto, who coughed the word porn. I have a few dislikes. My hobbies? Reading. He eyed Naruto, waiting for the cough, and it happened. My dreams? Never really thought about it. Now your turn, Mr. Emotion. My name is Sai. I like to draw and paint. I don't really dislike anything so far. My hobbies are painting and drawing. My dream? I don't have one, he said in a fake emotion that everyone could spot. Okay. Now you, Ms. Uchiha, Kakashi said, pointing at Satsuki. Satsuki glared at Kakashi but began speaking. My name is Satsuki Uchiha. I like tomatoes and my family. My dislikes are those who abandon someone for no reason. My hobbies include hanging out with Naruto-kun and training with Naruto-kun. I have 3 dreams. One is to surpass my brother. Another is to protect people who are precious to me. And the last one. She took a deep breath as she turned slightly red. Is to marry a certain someone. Naruto's Sharingan immediately activated in his anger as KL flooded the area. She wants to marry someone? Now I'll never have my chance. Ugh. He thought. Kakashi's eyes widened when he saw Naruto's Sharingan. He never told me he had the Sharingan. 3 tomos no less. This is gonna be a problem. He'd best pass this test or the council will get him. Kakashi thought, genuinely worried about Naruto. Okay, Naruto. Your turn. Naruto adopted a brooding position. My name is Naruto Uchiha. I like to train, my family, hang out with Satsuki-chan, and I like a girl. I dislike my biological family, along with Tsunade Senju and Jiraiya. I also dislike how long it takes for me to learn a new technique from Uncle Orochi. My hobbies include spending time with Satsuki, training, and talking to my family. My dream is to become the strongest man on the planet and to marry the girl I like. This time, Satsuki put out some KL. He wants to marry someone? Damn it. I wanted to marry him. Ugh. Satsuki thought. Kakashi's sweat dropped. Those two are so clueless. He thought with a small smile beneath his mask. Okay, everyone. Meet me at Training Ground 7. He said. He noted how Naruto and Satsuki grimaced slightly. He heard how 5 IWA Nin tried to attack them but nothing else about it. Something wrong, you guys. Naruto looks anywhere besides Kakashi, with a guilty look on his face. Satsuki, knowing what was going through his head, she pulls him over and puts her forehead on his. It wasn't your fault, Satsuki whispered. You were just protecting me. Kakashi channeled chakras to his ears and listened in on the conversation. L killed those men. I killed them. Naruto choked back to sob. Ever since that day, Naruto has always felt guilty about killing those men. Kakashi's eyes widened when he heard Naruto killed the IWA Nins. So Naruto defended Satsuki? He was only 7 at the time though. Could he have tapped into the one tail off chakra, Kakashi thought. He watched as Satsuki kissed Naruto's forehead before pulling him into a tight hug. Ah, young love. The two jumped off each other, both blushing furiously. Okay guys. Training Ground 7. See you there. IO minutes later. Kakashi watched as the three Genin walked onto the training grounds. Okay you three. Time to see if you can actually become Genin. The Uchiha stared him down with glares before Sai spoke up. What do you mean? Naruto and Satsuki nod their head in anger with Sai's question. Well, you aren't Genin yet. You have to be able to pass to this test to be Genin. Only 9 Academy students actually get to be Genin, so you have a failure rate of 66%. Naruto finishes. Kakashi nods his head. What's the test, sensei? Satsuki asked. Kakashi took out 2 bells. You have to try to get these bells. And the people who get them actually can pass this test and become Genin while the other gets sent back to the academy. So I want you to come at me with the intent to kill. Kakashi said in a serious voice so he wouldn't laugh at Satsuki's serious face. Ready set dash, he was cut off as Naruto tried to kick him. He grabbed Naruto's foot and threw him a couple feet. Wait till I say go, Naruto. Naruto grinned at his sensei. A true ninja never waits for his opponent to be ready. True. He heard a sizzling sound and looked down to see around. 20 paper bombs. Shit. He looked at Naruto to see a small smirk. Boom. Kakashi substituted himself with a nearby log. Naruto, are you trying to kill me? Naruto nodded his head. Fire style, fireball jutsu. Satsuki yelled as a fireball came towards Kakashi. Naruto made a couple more hand signs. Wind style, wind bullets. Naruto said as he blew out 3 bullets of air. That enhanced the fireball. Kakashi's eyes widened as he narrowly dodged the fireball only to get hit with a lion made of ink courtesy of Sai. He watched as all of the Genin started making hand signs before he held up his hands. You pass, you pass. He yelled. He then quickly grabbed Naruto and knocked him out. What the hell, Kakashi-sensei? Satsuki yelled. You just said we passed. Kakashi smiled. It's just going to be a little prank. I'm going to tie him up to one of the posts over there and pick him up after 3 to 4 hours. Kakashi said with a smile. Naruto's like my little brother. I'd never let him get hurt intentionally. Satsuki slowly nodded but still didn't like the idea. Kakashi quickly tied Naruto to the stump with a chakra-infused rope that wouldn't let Naruto use chakra or break out of it with his strength. Come on, guys. You can go home, Kakashi said. Satsuki only nodded her head. I have the bad feeling about this, she mumbled until she walked away, before leaving a note on Naruto's chest so he would know it's just a prank. 1 hour later, Naruto woke up tied up. He desperately tried to get out but he couldn't reach his kunai. He sighed and felt a slight crinkle on his chest. He looked at the paper and read it. Dear Naruto-kun, sorry, I'm not allowed to let you out of the rope. Kakashi-sensei's orders. He said you two were like brothers, so I let him do it. It's just a prank. He'll pick you up in a few hours. Kazan is going to have a fit. Sincerely, Satsuki. Naruto smiled at the letter before he heard some voices at the training grounds 5 minutes before they left the meeting. Ag! Naruto screamed. He was being mercilessly stabbed in the stomach by a villager who wore an evil grin. Naruto had 4 kunais in each limb and several in his stomach. The villagers each took turns twisting and moving the kunai deeper in his body. Naruto had tears running down his face. The pain was unbearable. "Please stop," he shouted. The villagers just continued. "We're going to kill all of the demon lovers after this," one said. "And maybe have fun with the women." Naruto just kept crying out in pain. "Take my power." A deep voice rang out in Naruto's mind. "Take my power, kid." It yelled louder. Red chakra swirled around Naruto before he broke the rope and limped for the villagers. Everyone watched in horror as they saw Naruto. He was soaked in blood while being surrounded by villagers. Minato and Orochimaru were about to jump before they heard a weight from Hiruzen. They glared at the old man before he pointed at Naruto, who had just broke the ropes. "I'm going to fucking kill you all." Naruto screamed as wood came from the ground and impaled a couple of the villagers. "You dare torture me?" his slightly demonic voice yelled. His Sharingan was active, which scared a lot of them and amazed many of the Jonin. Naruto ran and sliced one of the villagers' throats out with his claws, and Naruto made some hand signs. "Die! Fire style, inferno flames!" he yelled as the remaining villagers were engulfed in flames. Naruto's wounds were healing rapidly as he took out the kunai in his limbs. All of the Jonin and Anbu jumped down and revealed themselves. Naruto saw Hiruzen and started running while tears ran down his face. "GG," he said, turning back to normal. He jumped forward and landed in Hiruzen's arms. He was crying heavily. "It hurt. It hurt so bad," he said in between sobs. Orochimaru glared at Minato. "This is your fault. If you had actually taken Naruto, this wouldn't have happened," he yelled. Hiruzen walked towards then Uchiha clan compound as Minato and Orochimaru got into a heated argument with Naruto still crying in his robes. "Shoo, you're almost home," he said. Naruto may be a genin, but he was still human, and even humans took too much. "And now I can't sleep," he muttered. Satsuki smiled at him before grabbing his hand and leading him to the bed. She laid him down before laying down next to him and snuggling up in his arms. "Better?" she asked as she slowly began falling asleep. Naruto wrapped his arms around the girl and closed his eyes. "Better,"